Kagulat World. If you want to see how one game turned into a lesson of Southeast Asia, look no further than Batang Gilas' final match against Indonesia. It was a night filled with noise, tension, and heart. But beyond, one player lit up the stage not just because of his height, but because of the fire he brought with every move. His name, Prince CARIÑO, a towering 6'7", 16-year-old phenom. And Kagulat World is a rising star you'll definitely want to watch. From the opening whistle of the SEABA Under-16 qualifiers, it was a war. Even with a 3-0 record, the Gilas youth boys didn't relax. They knew Indonesia was hungry for a win. The opponents were disciplined, quick passes, reliable shooting from the perimeter, and a clear path to disrupt Gilas' rhythm. But Kagulat World, our young athletes showed a different kind of composure. Sebastian, Cabanero, and Benjamin proved early on that it wasn't just about talent. They had heart, hustle, and total commitment. Yet the spotlight was on those making big plays. One quiet presence began making a name for himself, Prince CARIñO. You wouldn't expect such a polished game from someone his age. Every move showed his basketball IQ. He wasn't just a post-up player or a rim protector. He could read offenses, position himself perfectly, and even shoot from deep, a rare combination at his age. Even in the first half, you could feel his influence. He knew when to strike and when to wait. Give him space, he'll shoot without hesitation. At halftime, Gilas Pilipinas led 32-28. But it was clear Prince was starting to heat up. The third quarter, that's when it exploded. It was like someone poured gasoline on Gilas Youth's offense. They played faster, smarter, and with killer instinct. And Prince was leading the charge. On one play, he received a pass beyond the arc, top of the three, splash. He looked like Carl Tamayo, but more athletic and explosive. But it wasn't just offense. On one defensive sequence, he chased down an Indonesian fast break, contested from behind, sprinted back on offense, and nailed a jumper off an assist. Veteran-level decision-making. That's when you knew this kid's different. By the time the fourth quarter started, Gilas had built a double-digit lead. But Indonesia didn't go down easily. They kept pushing, and that's when Batang Gilas' maturity stood out. Every time the opponent scored, Gilas answered. Miracle hit a big three, Mendoza drove hard left and scored clutch points. Benjamin held the paint down, and in the final 2 minutes, it was Prince again. Ball in the paint, took the contact, scored through the foul, and won. The crowd went wild. It wasn't just a highlight, it was a statement. Who's next? Final score, 77-68. Gilas swept the tournament with a perfect 4-0 record. But Kagulat World, the real story goes beyond the scoreboard. The SEABA Under-16 campaign is proof that Philippine grassroots basketball is headed in the right direction. And if there's a face to that future, it's undoubtedly Prince CARIñO, a kid with height, skill, courage, and most of all, love for the game. But Prince wasn't the only hero. The entire Gilas youth team presented a well-oiled system. From the coaching staff to the bench players, everyone had a role. Discipline, hustle, sacrifice. There were no superstar egos, just players willing to do the dirty work. And this kagulat world is the real winning culture, not relying on one man but standing together as one unit. Every stop, every assist, and every dive for the ball, everyone contributed. That's why here at Ginulat ang Mundo, we shine as light on stories like these. Stories of young talents still unknown in the mainstream, yet already making noise behind the scenes. Prince CARIÑO isn't just a product of height, he's a product of discipline, of a system, and of proper development. With the right support, he won't play for Gilas youth. He'll wear the Gilas seniors jersey and to carry our flag on the FIBA stage. And when that day comes, we'll proudly say, we were here from the beginning. This win isn't just for the team. It's for every child who dreams, for every coach who teaches despite limited resources, and for every parent who stands by their kids in rain or shine. This is proof that sacrifice matters, that dreams have direction, that basketball in the Philippines is alive and thriving. Kagulat world, when you watch young players like Prince CARIñO, remember that every move tells a story. These aren't just highlights. There are countless of thousands of layups, hundreds of practice hours, and countless failures before success. And here at Ginulat ang Mundo, we promise the stories won't go unheard. With each new era in Philippine basketball, a new star always rises and inspires hope. This time, that star is Prince CARIñO, 16 years old, 6'7", full of heart, courage, and talent. His presence on the court doesn't just reflect his physical gifts, but a maturity rare for someone his age. Every outside shot, rebound, and hustle play shows that he's not relying on height alone. He's a true all-around player, working hard for every success. But beyond Prince's personal story, the real stars of the SEABA Under-16 campaign are the entire Gilas youth squad. With 4 straight wins, they proved the right mix of skill, discipline, and teamwork. Every game was a challenge, especially for such young team. But their maturity showed us that Philippine basketball has a bright future. With every fast break, defensive rotation, and cheer from the bench, this victory shouldn't just seen as another trophy or international standing. It should be a call to further support grassroots development. Just as we followed and loved Kai Soto's journey, we must give the same energy to the next generations of players like Prince CARIñO. Because for every child in provinces, in school courts, or in the streets dreaming of wearing the Gilas jersey, Prince's story is living proof that dreams do come true, with faith, hard work, and heart. Here at Ginulat ang Mundo, Kagulat World, we're not just storytellers of stats and highlights. Our mission is to elevate the narratives of every young Filipino athlete filled with determination. Stories not just made for views or viral clips, but for genuine recognition of Filipino youth excellence. Prince CARIñO's journey is far from over, it's only just begun. And we're here to follow every step of that path. We'll be the nation's eyes as he rises. So from the SEABA Under-16 to future tournaments, Kagulat World, keep watching and don't let go. Because every move of a kid like Prince, in every Gilas youth victory, and in every shout of Para sa Bayan, beats the heart of the Filipino people. And here at Ginulat ang Mundo, every story lives on, every story is ours, and every story can change the future. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.